nostalgia manic punk! It is hot in Topeka. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Pumpkinator, and today we're going to be talking about FusionFall. But first, do you remember when Cartoon Network was like the spot when we were kids? They had shows that were fun and funny, but also at the same time they had shows that didn't really talk down to the audience. And if you ask me, Cartoon Network kind of shaped a whole generation with their iconic cartoons. I'm talking Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Fosters, Kids Next Door, Chowder, Grim Adventures, Teen Titans, and those are just the ones before 2010. And they had some of their IPs interact before in multiple ways. Outside of crossover episodes in their shows like the Grim Adventures of K&D, which was a trip, and that invaded thing that they had, you know, that weird Kraft mac and cheese alien invasion thing that they had with Grim, Laszlo, Fosters, Ed, Edd n Eddy, and my gym partner's a monkey. Bro, what the fuck was that show, dog? But outside of the shows, they had bumpers that consisted of all the characters living together in a city, called Cartoon Network City. Very creative name, I know. But honestly, if you ask me, I think the most well-known crossover thing that they've ever done was FusionFall, the game that was released in 2009. And if you're a kid that actually went outside and touched grass and shit like that, like me, oh my god, couldn't be me. FusionFall was a huge MMORPG that brought together all the characters and locations that appeared on Cartoon Network, all into one place. All so that they could fight an alien invasion. And when they were promoting this thing, I was freaking hooked right away. My 10-year-old brain was like itching to play it. All the ads made it look super cool, and I already knew they were in good hands because Cartoon Network had some pretty good Flash games. Remember that roguelike Kids Next Door City Zombies game? Or that Kaiju Powerpuff Girls fighting game? They had some freaking bangers back in the day. And this game is no different. I mean, look at Eduardo. Look at the little cute little guy. And I'm not the only one that thinks so, because at its peak, it had 9 million concurrent players at once. And that's nothing to sneeze at. The game's success was due to the South Korean co-developer called Grigon Entertainment. They're probably best known for this game, but they also worked on Seal Online, which is another MMORPG that was also pretty popular. Now, what if I told you there was a single issue comic that sets up the plot for FusionFall? Well, that's what we're going to be covering today. Look, I watched Class of 3000 the other day with King Nusumi, and it got me in a nostalgic mood, all right? Just let me have this one, all right? If the video doesn't do well, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. I'm a grown man, by the way. So why don't we take a look at this almost 20-year-old comic for a game that's no longer in service? This is FusionFall. The issue starts at Jojo's Observatory. The observatory where he observes the city that needs to be observed, the city of reserve to be conquered. He sees something's heading towards Townsville, so he gathers his minions and prepares a defensive. Number 2 also notices that something's wrong because he can't get in contact with any of the Kids Next Door bases off-world. Dexter is also alerted that there's an anomaly by this. What the fuck is that, Dexter? Why do you have a goon bot? I mean, shit, I can't pretend like I wouldn't, right? Game recognizes game, bro. The same thing happens all across the sea and worlds until something crashes right in front of Foster's, the treehouse, and that one Mega XLR thingy. I don't know, I didn't watch that show. The object that fell was some sort of orb, and it starts pouring out these little slime guys. Mac thinks that they might be new imaginary friends, but Blue tells them to scram. But instead of doing that, they chase after them. They get hoofed down until Dexter shows up in a mech and crushes all the slime, saving the 2 of them. Blue says he appreciaes the help, but he has everything under control. Which, yeah, for sure, he definitely did. Also, fun fact, the guy who voices Blue from Foster's is Reaper from Overwatch.
What gives? Hey, it's 9:30.
I'll be sure to send them your regards, monkey.
What did you just call me? And he doesn't even like use a voice filter or anything. He can just make his voice like that, which is really impressive. Yeah. I'm that type of autism. Mac thanks Dexter for the save, but then Ben pulls up and tears up one of the slime balls. He said if he knew a party started, he would have brought some chaps. But Dexter says the party's just getting started because there's another slime thing over yonder. We then cut to the treehouse where we see number 5 and number 2 fighting off the slimes. They're confused on where these things came from, and they try to make a run for it, but then they get cornered. All the slimes jump into the air and slam down onto the ground, destroying the platform, and almost taking Hoagie down with them. But it's a good thing Blossom and Bubbles pull up to save the day. Goodness gracious, this comic is at a breakneck speed. I mean, I know it's like a single issue, it's just to set up a plot, but I'm starting to think that Brain Rot was always around, you know? But at least they got some heavy hitters on their team now. And I'm sure you agree because Blossom and Bubbles start messing up the flesh sacks that the slimes are coming from. But apparently the sack's got some hands because it grabs Bubbles. So they think things are going to be harder than they thought. Dexter confirms this as he gives Bubbles the assist. He has his robot bring him and the other characters down. He says he's detected 3 of those sack things and nothing seems to be working against them. Because whenever they do any damage to it, it just regenerates every time. But since they can't use brute force to take them out, they decide to gather more characters to meet up in this super secret room. Apparently Dexter's been working with Professor Utonium. Oh my goodness. Rest in peace, Tom Ken. Bro is the voice of my childhood. But the 2 of them have been studying the slimes, and it's real fascinating stuff. Damn, okay, Utonium, I knew you could pull, but the Goombot wants you too? Shit, nigga, I'm trying to be like, yo. Anyway, the 2 of them discover that the slimes are biomachines that are linked to the central structure of the map. They seem to be powering up something, and they're preparing for a possible attack, but the 2 of them aren't totally sure. All they do know is that what they're planning is no good, so they need to destroy the central core before it becomes fully operational. But to go after the central structure, they have to go after the 2 satellite structures, so the slimes can't have reinforcements come after them, and they'll be able to fight them off with their new invention, the electro pulse cannon. Now here's the hard part about the plan. They're all gonna have to attack at once, because if they don't, the slimes will just regenerate. Ben says that sounds like no sweat, because he could just take care of it in seconds. But Dexter says no, because these things are way too dangerous to take on individually. That's why they're going to plan a coordinated attack and go in teams to make the offensive. They're all not sure for some reason, but Dexter says that that's the only way. And now the plan is all set. Now they only have two things that's holding them back. The tech that they need to make the weapon belongs to Mandark Industries. And the electro beam that they need was stolen from Townsville Science Center by Mojo Jojo. But Dexter tells them not to worry, because they can do this. They just have to split up into teams of two. Utonium tells 2/3 of the whoop-ass girl to go after that filthy monkey, because Buttercup is... Wait, where is Buttercup? She's the toughest fighter. Well, I guess they're gonna have to bring somebody else with them. Dexter asks number 5 to lead a strike force against Mandark, and Dee Dee is going to distract them. So number 5 leads, and she brings Blue, Mac, and Dee Dee with her. And they get past all sorts of things, like evil robots and crocodiles. But they ultimately are able to sneak into Mandark's lair, who's just straight aura farming. He's almost there, but he's no Piccolo. Maybe he needs to go to a different time block for that. Goddamn, are my TV channel jokes hidden? Probably not, right? Whatever, fuck you, nigga. Meanwhile, we see Team 2 that consists of Blossom, Bubbles, Ben, and number 2. Ben hacks the door open as upgrade, but there's not a soul inside. But since he's not there, they decide to search for the device. Cutting back to Team 1, they've completely pissed off Mandark because they broke into his house and destroyed his shit. And now they're asking for his most dangerous weapon. But Dia says, peace, and he folds immediately. But he only has one condition for letting them use his weapon. He wants to join the fight, which they're not too sure about. Cutting back to Team 2, number 2 found the device, but they get caught by the slimes, and they fit in the slime their asses. And the three of them start fighting them off. We then cut to Dexter's ship, and he is not happy that Mandark is there. Dee Dee tries to talk some sense into Dexter, because they do actually need him, and he agrees to put their differences aside for the greater good. But then the ship gets attacked by more slimes. So Dexter asks Utonium if he's heard from the girls. He hasn't, but that's okay, because they just showed up just in the nick of time. They pass Dexter's device as the girls go and fight off the threat. Dexter tells the rest of them to try and buy some time so they can throw this device together. So everyone goes and helps take on the slimes. Wait, are those the guys from Mega XLR? Why are they not helping? I feel like they'd be a heavy hitter. I mean, I don't know shit about the show, but they got fucking mechs, so I mean, that probably did a lot of damage. They all keep fighting until Dexter finally finishes the weapon. He tries to use it, but it malfunctions. The Goomba asks what they did wrong, and Dexter says they trusted Mandark. But then an alien device is detected, and a beam shoots from the sky and hits the fleshy stacks, and clips the ship, causing the ship to lose power. And the girls try to keep it up, but it's way too heavy. So it's pretty lucky that Mandark's robot came to save him. Turns out he actually didn't betray them. He just got the calculations wrong because he was distracted by Dee Dee. So Dexter fixes the calculations and fires the laser, absolutely destroying the sack, which causes everybody to celebrate. But it's not over yet, because a huge beam shoots down from the sky again and shoots Mojo Jojo into the ground. Blossom about to rock his shit even more, but they still have so many questions. But when they look into the sky, they see a bunch of planets fusing together, and the sack is reforming itself even after everything. So they fail because Planet Fusion is here. And that is where the issue ends. And I gotta say, it's pretty fast, but it's actually kind of fun. From what I can remember from each show, the characters feel true to their characters. Also, the art style is anime inspired and it looks really cool. Remember in the 2000s when they had a bunch of shows that were like anime inspired, like Teen Titans and Totally Spies and Kappa Mikey. Oh wait, Kappa Mikey isn't from Cartoon Network. It's Nicktoons. Get the fuck out of here! But still, it was fun. So if you made it this far into the video, you're probably wondering what happens next, right? Well, after this, you play the game. But unfortunately, the game servers have been closed since 2013. So unfortunately, I can't play it, which kind of sucks. I mean, I would have done like a whole lore breakdown for it. But from what I found online, it looks like players team up with Cartoon Network characters to fight off Lord Fusion, an intergalactic villain whose planet absorbs other planets. And it looks like Earth is the next one that's eyeing up. So everybody has to go into the future so they can learn how to fight this enemy, so they can save the world of the past. And like, the future, it was looking rough for them. But the game did seem really fun. And the game had such a significant following that when the servers closed, a dedicated community tried to make a second game called FusionFall 2. But the entire project got shut down 6 months to a year after it started by Cartoon Network, which kind of sucks. I'm sure newer players would have wanted to play the game with like newer characters like Tulip from Infinity Train, or like, I'm sure Finn and Jake were probably in there. Maybe Steven? I don't know. But they just probably wanted to add new characters to the roster. But that's what I thought about the comic, and I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like the video so that I can get happy feelings in my brain. And subscribe so you don't miss out on any niche or indie comics that I put out next. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And make sure you tell your family that you love them. Bye-bye now! Thanks for coming on this nostalgic trip with me. Bye, I love you. Mwah!